Okay, so let's get started here. I'm trying something completely different. And here we go. Excuse the slope of the screen. The floor of the center is a little bit of an angle, so why don't we get started? Okay, so welcome. I've got a Google Hangout going here live. I'm not sure if you guys hear me on there properly. I have, let me see, is that saying the microphone's off? Okay, so to get started, welcome. My name is Kenneth Todd, and welcome to a journey into healing. And thanks for those of you who decided to come along today. I know it was short notice. Let me just have a sip of water. And we're going to explore those, and there's a lot of people here that have come on here that have had Lyme disease or specific issues, health-related issues, diseases, whatever. So we're going to be looking at this in a completely different approach today, and I got this thing fired up. So let's see what we can learn here today. Okay, so let me just adjust this for the screen for the peeps on here. It's actually this, yeah. Okay, so welcome. So if you're looking for positive change in your life, whether that's your health, although today's focus is on health, whether it's on income, in your relationships, finding purpose, whatever it is, I'm going to tell you now that you are in the right place. And I can say that with a lot of conviction and confidence, because this is something that I've gone through, that I'll go through with you in a little bit and tell you a little bit about my background and who I am and why I'm here, etc. So what about you? I want to find out about you guys. I've already had a prelim discussion with you guys. There's a couple of folks here that have had Lyme disease, other people here that have had some other illnesses that we'll keep private for now, and that's okay. So we've already gone through this and through the introduction, so it's a really irrelevant slide. So what are we going to expect from today's talk? What do we expect to achieve? What do we expect to experience during this broadcast, this Google Hangout, and during this little seminar, this workshop that we're doing in this small group? So we're going to explore a new approach to our illness. And it's not new that this is some new idea. These ideas have been around for many years, centuries have been passed down, incorporate ancient traditions and wisdoms. But it's a new approach from where we are today in terms of being diagnosed with an illness and going to a regular doctor and saying, here's some pills, go take these should take your symptoms away, but not really going down to the core sort of issues, the underlying cause, right? Everything in this universe is cause and effect. If I do something, there's going to be effect, right? I mean, that's the laws of nature that sort of work, okay? And so it's probably going to be an approach that you haven't been taught before or that I've come across very few times, and so it's pretty exciting. Okay, you're going to understand, right, how our mind actually works and creates our belief systems. You're going to learn why you get the results that you do in your life based on those belief systems, the beliefs being models or templates. And you understand how you directly influence the results that you have. Okay, you'll understand your role that you play in your own health and your own wellness and in the healing process. You can understand this mind-body connection, okay, and not just from some new age sort of perspective where just positive thinking. It goes a lot deeper than just positive thinking or thinking the right way, and we're going to explore that. I'm going to show you how to find your purpose, how to improve your health, and how to improve your relationships, improve your income, and live a more fulfilled life. Okay, so this is very important. So a little bit of background about me, and again, I've been trying. I apologize for the screen; it's all over the place. Yeah, we got a heck of a slope in this building. Even the table that's holding the projector is I just haven't been able to sort of perfect this as best as I can to try to fit everything in there. That might be a little bit better. So about me, my name is Kenneth Todd. I'm originally from South Africa, and I live here in the US. Just pushed the button by mistake, but anyway, I've been in the US since 2001. I came here through my career as a banker an investment banker. I came in 2001 from London. I'd spent 6 years in London, traveling around and doing odd jobs, and worked in banking actually. It was always my dream to come to the US and sort of, live here and be a part of it. But even though I studied economics and I did a master's degree in economics or postgrad degree in economics and finance, I enjoyed that aspect of it, but I was always searching for something more. I was thinking, I can't do this 9-to-5 thing. But I sort of was trapped in this business because it paid me very well, and it allowed me to live my dreams. It brought me to, allowed me to travel all the way around Europe and all the way around the world. It brought me to the US and gave me this opportunity. But I really wanted to break free from that. But I didn't know how. I didn't know what I was going to do or how I was going to do it. At one stage, I thought I was going to be a photographer. I just want to be a photographer and open a coffee shop and go live in Hawaii and do all this stuff. And I was always searching for more, thinking about more. And it was right about 2000 I really started stepping up my spiritual journey, my self-help, personal development journey, and diving more into aspects of the mind and spirituality and emotions and body and positive thinking, all this stuff. I really started cranking it up in about 2004, 2005. And I just, eventually in about 2008, I watched the movie The Secret, and I started trying to figure out what this law of attraction thing was all about. So I implemented that in my life, or tried to. And I remember saying to my wife in the kitchen the one night, I was standing there, and I was saying, you know what, I'm so sick of this 9-to-5 thing, and I'm just going to cut the cord. In the next 30 days, I'm leaving. Right? And she's looking at me at the opposite side of the kitchen thinking, whoa, okay, we don't even have our green cards. How are we going to get money? Or the thing, even though I had a good amount of cash stashed away, I didn't have any debt apart from a small mortgage. And I thought, well, this is what I'm going to do. I said, if we ever want to go on workshops and go to Colorado or California for a week, I don't want to be tied to my job and my boss telling me when I can go. So the next 30 days I'm going. So what I did is the next day I started bringing home basically 1 or 2 items every single day out of my office, right? So that nobody would notice. It was about 30 days in to the day. About a week before those 30 days came up, there was this news broadcast in the papers and stuff that the bank that I was working for was going to shed 30,000 jobs globally or something ridiculous, some ridiculous number. So I was like, whoa, okay, well, this could be me. So now I was coming close to, hey, I wanted to create this. This thing's now manifesting into my life. Here we are. And it was literally, no word of a lie, 30 days to the day that I made that statement in my kitchen, right? That I went into work and there was a yellow post-it sitting on my monitor when I walked in, and it said, Kenneth, call me when you get in, please. So it was signed by a chap that I know. I won't mention his name. Oh, well, who cares? Chris. His name is Chris. I picked it up. Phoned his number. He wasn't even my boss, right? My boss was busy somewhere else, firing a whole lot of other people. And so anyway, Chris answered the phone, and Chris was the senior guy. And I said, my time is up here, isn't it? And he said, I'm afraid so, mate. He said, listen, I'm just dealing with so-and-so. I'll come meet you in your office. So I made a couple of phone calls to some of my clients and said goodbye and that, and then Chris came through. He explained what was going on, and like saying, hey, your boss is waiting up. My boss Jim is waiting up in the office. Why don't you take a walk up there? So I went up there. Anyway, I was one of the folks that got laid off. In fact, my whole team got laid off except for 2 people. And so anyway, about a week after I got laid off, so they gave me a good package, everything, but I was scared, right? And the thing was that I wanted to do was, the plan was that we were going to move from Connecticut to Hawaii for 6 months with our 2 young kids and go experience Hawaiian life, not from a holiday perspective. We were going to do a short-term lease and just go see what it would be like to live there. Okay, so we had this all planned out as part of this law of attraction sort of thing that I wanted to attract into my life. So once I do that, about a week after I get laid off, get a nice package, everything, I get a call from my company and say, hey, Kenneth, nobody knows what the heck you were doing. Can you come help us? I said, fine. I said, but they said, hey, you can't come back full time. You're going to come back as a contractor, as a temp. We can't employ any more people, right? I said, fine, I don't want a full time. I'm going to Hawaii. I said, but if you want me to come back, so I sort of started thinking of this opportunity. I said, if you want me to come back, for every 1 week that I work, you pay me for 3. So like, I'm sure about to organize something. And I was like, look, I'm not getting a bonus. I'm saving you guys money. You got rid of me. Now, if you want me back, it's going to cost you. They said, oh, of course, okay, fine. So I go back there, and I was going to go back there for 2 weeks. So after 2 weeks, well, I go back there, like my first week back in, and the guy that's sort of part of my old team, but he didn't know what I was doing because I ran this little division. And he said to me, Kenneth, I don't know, I can't learn all this stuff in a week, you know, and this sucks. I can't stand it. I've got my other work to do. You know, everything was pretty bad because so many layoffs, everybody was overworked. They didn't know what was happening with their job. He said, I've got to get you to stay. I said, well, give me to stay. I said, I can stay for 3 months. I'll stay here for the whole of summer because this kicked off in May, middle of May, and I went back at the beginning of June. I said, I'll stay here June, July, August, right? 3 months. And you guys, you know, pay me for 9 months. Okay, so he's like, cool, I'll get that signed off. So they offered to do that for me, but so now this was the perfect thing, right? I thought I had the secret to life sort of mapped out. I thought I had it figured it out, bingo. Because what had happened is I'd said to myself, I want to leave this company within 30 days, and I'm leaving. So off I went, okay? And I created that, I manifested that. But not only, and then I was going to go to Hawaii, but not only did I create that, but I created this income. I created this thing where I would now be able to work for the next 3 months, enjoy summer here in Connecticut, and then after those 3 months, I was still going to get paid for another 6 months. And that 6 month period would have covered my time in Hawaii. While I was sitting in Hawaii figuring out if this was what I wanted to do, I was going to go get paid for that. But not only that, at the end of the 6 months, that's when my severance package would kick in. So I'd get a huge big bonus, like, you know, my, whatever it was, I think they paid me for a year and a bit or something of income. I would get full medical, I'd get all my pension, everything still. So that would only kick in after 6 months. So I was getting this 6 months free paid vacation. And so it was perfect. And I thought, man, this is absolutely wonderful. I understand. This is so easy. All I've got to do is apply the same sort of principles to my life. And sorry, I keep looking at you because I can see people coming in still. So I hope they don't disturb us and go through the back door here. But in any case, what happened was, so I got this wonderful gift, this wonderful opportunity given to me that I sort of created, that I believe that I created through the law of attraction. And about a week in, I remember it was a Memorial Day weekend, and so it was an early close at the bank on Friday afternoon, so we finished early, like 1:30, 2 o'clock. I decided to go to the gym. But the week before, while I was laid off, our whole family had this sinus issue. So I went back to work, you know, still not 100%. So I went to the gym that afternoon, and I went on the treadmill. I got off the treadmill, and I was feeling all dizzy and weird after about 20, 30 minutes. And then I tried to go do some weights, and there's just this incredible weakness came over me where I thought I was going to pass out. I felt like I needed a soda or something, and I never drink sodas. I never drink sugar, eat sugar or whatever. And so I said, well, something's weird's going on. I need to get out of here. I've never experienced anything like it. So I got in my car. I didn't even stop at the vending machine in the gym to grab a drink or one of those post-workout drinks that I normally used to have. I was just like, I need to get home as fast as I can. Anyway, what happened was that was the first sort of symptom of Lyme disease that I had, you know, the start. And from there, over the next week, it progressed really bad where I was having, it sort of blasted off with severe anxiety, and like I couldn't handle any bright lights, you know, felt like my brain was short-circuiting, a lot of nausea, a lot of incredible weakness, like I was going to pass out and faint, just an experience that you can't really explain very well. And that was sort of the start of symptoms, and then it just went worse to muscle aches, cramping, joint pain, headaches, insomnia, not being able to sleep, chronic fatigue, muscle twitching, tingling, feelings like this thing stuck in your throat, eyes not working properly, can't feel your limbs, like whether it's your left limb or your right limb, all this weird stuff, and just crazy. But anyway, that was the start of Lyme disease for me, and it took a while to get diagnosed, because guess what? When I went to my regular doctor, he first started thinking, I've got a middle ear infection because of that sinus infection. He fed me some antibiotics, nothing happened. Then he started thinking, but he didn't tell me this. He told me, hey, I think this is something to do with, well, he didn't even say that. He was assuming that it was something related to me leaving my job, and now I was going through anxiety or depression. So he started giving me Valium and stuff. I didn't know what the heck was. I didn't even take headache tablets. I'm the type of person that I don't even take throat lozenges. I don't even take Advil, whatever that is. I can't stand any medicine. Right? I just don't like taking pills or anything. So he just gave me this stuff with this long name. I was like, okay, I'll take this. I remember saying to my wife, man, this stuff makes me feel so relaxed. I need to go get another coffee. And I'd walk off to Starbucks and go get another big mug of Starbucks. And then after a while, my wife said, we should look what's in it. So I looked on it, and then it says, like, what's this thing? Diazepam, Valium, what? This is for people suffering with anxiety, depression, all this stuff. So anyway, I sort of lost faith in this whole Western medicine thing. After they put me on this and vertigo medicine and back on this, and it took about 3 or 4 months to be diagnosed, and eventually I started taking antibiotics. And then my journey back into healing was a really long process, okay? So right now, I have 3 businesses. I have my coaching business, which is this. I run a digital marketing agency, and I do a bit of other stuff in terms of network marketing. So a couple of things I want to tell you guys right now. Okay, you guys that are here that want this, you will get better. Okay, you will get better. Those of you with Lyme disease, okay, and I'm not going to get into this debate about the illness. There's a lot of controversy and different opinions about Lyme disease, and I'm not going to get into that debate. I believe there's a middle ground, and I've been through this whole process the same as everybody here, and the regular doctors believe that it's 3 weeks antibiotics, 4 weeks antibiotics, and then you're done. Then you've got the Lyme doctors who will put you in an IV and whatever for 3 years if they need to. And I think those are both extremes, and I think it's somewhere lying in the middle. We're going to explore that, but I'm not going to get into that debate of whether the illness goes away, whether it stays dormant, whether there's this remission period. I'm not going there, okay? There's too much controversy, and that's not what this is about. I'm going to challenge some of your beliefs today. Some of the things that I'm going to say, is going to really perhaps offend you and make you feel annoyed and make you feel a little bit agitated. But I'm grateful for this opportunity to be with you guys here today, and you guys live on Google Hangouts. I don't even know if you'll be able to hear me properly, but I'm also grateful for this opportunity and for this period of growth that this illness and disease gave to me. Okay, so that's the way that I look at it. So I just want you to just relax today, have an open mind, and I'm just trying to. This is a safe place, right? Okay, I'm trying to create this environment of love and support and caring for you guys, so that you can heal as fast as possible, so that you can live the life that you deserve and that you imagined, right, and that you wanted and that you had. So let's have a look at pain and illness. I've just created a new word, painus. Which is a combination of pain and illness. So illness causes pain, right? And here we're talking about not just physical pain, but emotional pain, spiritual pain, mental pain, and of course the physical pain. Anything that's long-term, right, switches from, in my opinion, switches from a physical illness, especially Lyme disease and some of the other diseases where it's a chronic illness, it switches from a physical illness to an emotional one, right, and a mental. And a mental illness. It becomes very, very draining. It becomes taxing on ourselves and on our families. Okay, we need to support the body in all four of these areas: it's emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical. And that's what wellness is all about. Okay, wellness, overall wellness is about physical, eating the right way. I just want to try to do something here. I just want to try adjust this because I think it's a little bit blurry. There Man, I just wish I could get this thing a little bit right. And it's a balancing act that I can't do. So this physical, right? Exercise, food, all that kind of stuff, right? Mental, positive thoughts, understanding what you're thinking, understanding the mind, the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, how it affects our body, and we're going to explore this in great detail. The emotional element, right? And the spiritual element. Think about this. Think about your health and wellness here in the middle. Okay? You cannot, no matter how healthy you are, and let me give you an example. Now, I don't want to just talk about myself, but I want to give you an example so you can relate to me. When I first got sick, I was eating, such low carbohydrates, such low fat, no sugars. I was training for an Ironman triathlon. I worked out 5 to 6 times a week. I was swimming every day, running every day, doing weights a few times a week, cycling every single day, doing endurance length bicycle races. So I was fit, and I ate well, right? Not out of vanity, but just that's the way I like to live, okay? But I still got sick, right? And the dude next to me that was 260 pounds and 5'10", that was eating bagels and frappuccinos and a donut here and there for breakfast, and then at lunchtime was having a nice big white roll and burger and a pizza here and the pasta, and I was avoiding all that stuff. He didn't get sick. He was in the same conditions and environment as me. Why? And that frustrated me. Those guys going out and drinking and smoking. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke cigarettes. I used to. But these all work together in terms of your wellness. Right? You can be as fit and healthy and eat as healthy as you want, but if you're not there, if you're in a negative mental state, or your emotions are all over the place, if you're angry, spiteful, vindictive, jealous, fearful, anxious, depressed, you're not going to have wellness. That's evident. I mean, have you ever seen somebody that's unhappy that looks healthy? No, I mean, you can see their whole posture, their whole body. Like, what? You don't want to be that person, right? I mean, you can't have, if any one of these things disappear, your overall wellness sort of falls down. But today, we're going to focus on the emotional and mental side, okay? These two elements here. We're going to focus heavily on the mental and emotional and see that the impact that it has on our physical and spiritual as well. Okay, so listen, I want to let you guys know that you guys here with Lyme disease today or other illnesses, I want you to know, okay, because I've been in this position. I know what it's like, and I understand what it's like to lie in bed awake worrying about your illness, when you will ever get better, if you will ever get better. I know what it's like to lie there feeling alone, feeling helpless, feel like you've been abandoned, feeling hopeless, okay, worrying about who's going to take care of your family, who's going to take care of your finances. I lost everything from that beautiful financial position. I lost everything, okay, including going through foreclosure with my home. I know what it's like to lie in bed awake worrying about, sorry, where am I? Gone. Oh, hit the wrong button. Jeez. Oh. To feel angry, to feel scared, to feel anxious and depressed. I've had all those feelings. I've lying in bed, waking up 40 times a night, right, because of this illness, right, where you just can't sleep. Not because you're worrying so much, but that's what it does. As you're falling asleep, your body has these jolts, and you wake up, and my son's cuddled up in my bed next to me, my wife's on the other side of the bed, I'm looking around the room, everything looks so cold and meaningless, and these people look so peaceful, and inside my head is this raging storm. It's like, do I want to be here? Am I going to die? Shall I just die? All this kind of stuff. I know what it's like to have your dreams ripped away and shattered from you, right? I mean, I had that thing right there in front of me, my lifelong dream to go live in Hawaii and have that coffee shop and have freedom and flexibility. I know what it's like to have those weird sensations where your arm goes completely numb and you think, hey, am I going to be paralyzed? Am I going to be in a mental hospital? That was one of the biggest fears for me, right? Those thoughts that come with this illness through the toxins and the medicine. It feels like you're losing your friggin' mind. And I understand, I know what it's like, to think, is this it? Is this it for me? Is this what my life's all about now? Okay? Is this how I'm going to be forever? You know, I understand, you know, those thoughts of, am I going to die? You know, am I going to die? Or you're so sick, you say, I just want to die, I've had enough of this. Or you think, shall I make myself die? Suicide. You know, and these thoughts come, and I'm being completely open and honest with you. Never in my life have I thought of that. Right? And then you have this illness, and this is a common theme that comes with this illness. It's one of these things that pop up. These can be some of your first symptoms with some of the people with Lyme disease. Right? The toxins, because it's attacking your central nervous system and your brain, which is part of your central nervous system, right? Is that you know, you can't control these toxins that are coming through there, and you have these negative, terrible thoughts, right? Okay, so know this though. All those things that you're thinking, you're just dealing with thoughts. Okay, you're dealing with thoughts, and I say just, these are very powerful thoughts. But the good news is that thoughts can be changed. Okay, you're dealing with thoughts right now. I'm not saying to ignore your physical symptoms, but all the craziness, the madness that goes inside your head, those are thoughts. Powerful thoughts. I'm going to explore that. But just know that they are just thoughts, and thoughts can be changed. Okay? And we're going to change that. And there is hope, and there is a way to do this. So you're going to get your life back, and it starts right here and right now, and it starts today. Okay? So this is the journey. This is the process. You know, if you're looking for a magic pill, quick fix, this is not the place. You know, some people have miraculous healings where this is boom, this is it, and their life shifts completely. But typically, this type of work is a process, right? It's a mental stuff, emotional stuff. You know, you can't think of it from a physical perspective. You know, people say, oh, I've prayed this whole week, I've prayed so hard and nothing comes. This is all a load of nonsense. This law of attraction stuff, whatever, done, I'm finished. You think, okay, I want to run a marathon. Okay, let me go train for a day. Let me go train for a week. Let me see how far I get. You're going to be in pain. Okay, you're going to be in pain. You've got a whole lifetime of growth to keep growing, keep evolving. So don't expect this massive change straight away. You can have a massive change in attitude, and you'll notice the difference. Once you make that change, it can be just a small change, or it can be a completely 180 degrees. So let's get started, okay? Now let's go start looking at these thoughts, the mind, emotions, beliefs, and how they affect our lives and how they affect the results that we get in our life. Okay, so let's be honest here. Okay, it's not always easy being human. It's not easy playing this game of being human. But I want to ask you, why do you think that people get the results that they do in their lives? Just for a sec while I grab a couple of a sip of water here. Why do you think people get the results that they do in their lives? Okay? Everybody's very quiet. Why do some people seem to struggle and others thrive? And they have the Midas touch. Everything they touch turns to gold. They buy a house and the price of their house goes up, and you know, they make money off that house. They're in the career that they want to be. Their health is good. They have a good relationship. You know, they work in the career and pursue what they want to do, and their money comes flowing into their life. You know, everything seems so effortless and easy for them, right? And then others who work just as hard, put in just as much effort, have just as many good intentions, they continuously struggle. Right? They're fighting the whole time. Their relationships are not good. Their health is poor. Their finances suck. They're always broke. They can't stand their job. Every time they try to make a change, something breaks down. Okay? Is it luck? Is it good education? Is it because they were wealthy? Did we do something wrong? Is God angry with us? You know, and this is not about religion. I'm just using that word God because it's very common, right? So what if I told you that all this stuff like luck, money, education, geographic location or education, etc. had nothing to do with it. It had nothing to do with it. Okay? We're going to explore that. And you might not be able to see this, but this is James Allen, and he wrote an essay, he's got a book essay, in 1902, As a Man Thinketh. You know, and he said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so shall he be. So I want you to think about this statement. Think about the thinketh. And you know, every time I read this statement where it's like, as a man thinketh in his, I just want to carry on speaking like this. It's pretty crazy anyway. So as a man thinketh in his heart, so not just as a man thinks, but as he thinks in his heart. Heart thoughts, heart feelings, okay? And this is what we're going to explore. So as we get started here, this is the most scientific sort of terminology I'm going to use, but I want to introduce you to a concept called cybernetics. This is very important for us to understand the connection between our mind, our subconscious mind, the actions of our life, and the results that we get in our life. Okay? So, cybernetics is the science of communications and automatic control systems in machines and living things. Okay? It's an automatic control system. Automatic control system. Remember that. Automatic control system. Communication. So let's look at this automatic control system, how it works in non-living things. Think about this home temperature here in the northeast of the US. It's winter coming up, and I like my house warm, 72 degrees, right? So I set my thermostat to 72 degrees. That sends a message to the thermostat to the furnace, the boiler, etc. It fires up to bring that temperature in my house. That's the 72 degree equilibrium. So there's my temperature right now at equilibrium. Well, it's snowing outside, it's 30 degrees, the kids outside playing in the snow, they come inside and they leave the door open behind them. What happens is cold air comes rushing in and the temperature drops down to 68 degrees. The thermostat picks up that temperature reading 68 and saying, hey, you should be 72. Sends a message to the boiler, hey, fire that sucker up, let's get going. Temperature rises, comes back to equilibrium. Okay? So let's look at another example. The final example is an airplane autopilot. We've got a destination. We're going from New York City to London. They put the coordinates in, and that's what the flight path looks like, right? But even though they put the coordinates, which is a straight line, say for example, is that flight path is going to deviate and it's going to keep adjusting. Okay? It's going to keep adjusting to this automatic control system, which is the autopilot. Now, when I first flew overseas, it was 1994. I flew from South Africa to Rome, Italy, on my way to London. And I remember back then, I mean, those was like smoking and non-smoking sections. Not too long ago. I mean, it was 21 years ago. I'm not that old. I was 20 years at the time. And so anyway, the pilot used to come like walking down, like, hey, how's it going? How's your flight doing? How's your day doing? I was thinking, man, my flight would be a lot better if you were in the front of the airplane, right, flying the damn thing instead of walking down here. But what I didn't know, through my lack of knowledge and ignorance, is the autopilots and co-pilots and everything else. So whatever the deviation is from weather, wind, traffic, whatever, there's this automatic control system that will keep bringing it back to its flight path. Okay, so that's how automatic control systems work in non-living things. So let's look at them in us humans, us people. So here's let's give her a name, Sally. She's an insurance salesperson, and here is her equilibrium. And this equilibrium is her target. She wants to sell $500,000 worth of insurance every single month. Okay. Now, she comes in the beginning of the year. She's had a fantastic December holiday. She went to the Caribbean with her friends, had a whole lot of fun, sunshine, drinks, mojitos, whatever they drink down there. I don't even know anymore. But anyway, they had an absolute blast. She comes back into work in January, and she doesn't want to be at her desk. It's winter. It's cold. She's trapped in the office, going out and seeing clients. She's thinking about the beach. She's way down here, off target, about $300,000. Her boss calls in and said, listen, this is the first month you're already 200K off your target. You need to pull up your socks and get going, right? You need to start putting some effort because the economy is not good and you're going to be out of here. So out of a little bit of fear, what does she do? She gets scared. Boom! She goes out aggressively and does the work and takes her sales all the way past her 500 up to 700K in 2 months. She's having a fantastic time. And I forgot to turn the phone off, and I'm sorry about that. Very rude. Okay. Good. So, while this is happening, she's happy as anything. This is what happens. You know, she can't keep going at that high sort of level, and she drops back down, but she's okay. She's still at her target, so she's on target. Summer comes around, has a bit of a drop. You know, she can see her boss's attitude start changing. Oof, let me get back out there. So she goes out there again, gets aggressive again, brings the sales up, and then comes back down. There's this oscillation around this equilibrium, right? This is what keeps happening. And this is what companies can sort of predict ahead of time and budget what their salespeople are going to do for that year. Okay? They can say, this is what the sales that we'll bring in this year. This is what the increase will be typically, because they know people are stuck in this equilibrium over here. Okay, so this is this equilibrium. What is that equilibrium? We're going to explore that. What's keeping the salesperson stuck, oscillating between this target the whole time? And another one that you see as an example, and we can all relate to, is diets. Now this guy, Jim, he wants to get to 200 pounds, okay? But he also had a fantastic December. But the result of that fantastic December is that his January weights just carried on down. He carried on the drinking and the eating all the way to January. He's now 220 pounds. Gets into the gym, gets a membership, keeps going. His belt loosens up. He feels good. People are passing comments. He feels so good. He keeps going. He goes past his target. He goes all the way down to 180. Springtime comes along. He has 1 or 2 extra beers, a little hot dog and burger on the barbecue. And hey, whoa, okay, I'm starting to put on weight again. Goes back to the gym. Drops it down, stays there for the whole of summer, end of summer. I don't need to have my body out there, you know, whatever. Football season starts, some beers and stuff, and it goes through this whole process, right? We see this, people's weight fluctuate all the time. Why do you think the weight loss industry is so significant? Why does people say as soon as they lose weight, they put it back on again? Why do they lose weight, put it back on again? Why is there this continual oscillation? Okay, this here, this line is an automatic control system. Automatic control system. What is an automatic control system? We all have them, okay? And we're going to consciously identify what they are. We're going to identify and notice them and how they affect our lives. Okay, this is what this is all about. So you can start thinking of this towards your illness. What's keeping you trapped there? What's keeping at you that level? What caused Kenneth Todd, who wants to make that change, get sick and put him back down to where he should be, and keep him at that level. Okay, we're going to learn what these things are that keep us trapped. We're going to, see how these things affect our lives and how we can change them. So these things are called paradigms. What is a paradigm? Okay, a definition of a paradigm is a pattern. A paradigm is a pattern or a model or a template. Okay, so think of that. It's a model, it's a template, it's a pattern. We all have these patterns in our lives. We all have these models and templates in our lives that, for example, if you think of it like this, and this is happening subconsciously, okay, and we're going to explore this. So we'll think of a paradigm or model about the type of work one should do. Okay, what type of career should you do? Some people say, well, you got to go to college and be a professional. You got to become a lawyer, an accountant, whatever it is. You need to be a professional, and that's how you go out there and you save your money and you go work hard and you get your promotion and you get your retirement income up. And once you've done that, you can take care of your family and college fund and all that stuff, and then you can sit back and live your dream and do whatever you want, right? So we have that. That's our paradigm. That's our template and our model of how life should work. So what happens when we leave college and we've got this idea of what's going on and we can't get a job and there's other job opportunities, what's happening is we like looking at this template of the type of work we should do. Does this fit? No, it doesn't. Does this fit? No, it doesn't. It doesn't fit our model. What does it cause? Discomfort. Discomfort, anxiety, fear, worry, doubt, all this stuff. Okay? So those people, hey, I want to start a business. Hey, this looks like such fun. I'd love to do this. This is like one of my passions. But hang on, it doesn't fit my model. Damn it, I've got to go back, right? Doesn't fit their model. Somebody gets an opportunity to come speak publicly. Does it fit their model or their template or paradigm? the way that they are in front of people and stuff? No, that doesn't. Does it fit their self-esteem, their confidence, their self-belief? No. We have these models for everything, every single thing in our life. And they come from external forces, and they also come from our life experiences, okay? So a paradigm is a multitude of habits. And the interesting thing, folks, is that these habits are not even our habits. These are other people's habits. So we're going to explore this thing. So you're probably thinking, hang on a second, okay? You won't be able to see this if you're on the Hangouts. It's like, what does this say? Hang on a second, Kenneth, what the heck has this got to do with my illness and my health? It's got everything to do. Because once you understand how the mind works and how it creates these belief systems, these paradigms, these models, these templates, these patterns in our life, you will then understand the role you play in terms of your healing and health and wellness today. You need to understand this. And I'm not saying that this is going to be an instant transformation in terms of healing, but it's going to be an instant transformation in terms of your awareness and the way that you think. When you change your thoughts, that's when the magic happens, okay? So this is super important. Why? I just covered this. It shows how our old model, right, those old paradigms put stress and taxed our body and, you know, maybe made us more susceptible to illness. Okay, and the model that we are creating now, that's really important on how we actually creating our future. Okay, the model that we are creating now. We have to understand this because paradigms, they control our logic, they control our perception, they control what we do with our free time, our productivity, our effectiveness. They control the amount of money that we earn. They control our health. They control our health. Let's look at these individually. Logic. Okay, I'll pick up my telephone. Right? People have different belief systems. This determines our belief systems, which are our paradigms, which is our model and template of life and the way life should look, okay, is different for every person. So, a number of years ago, I mean, I think of it, the iPhone is only 8 years old, okay, so here's an iPhone here, all right? So before that, we had these Palm Pilots and these other clamshell phones and stuff, and I had all these different iterations, and these Palm Pilots with a stylus, and you had to learn a different language, and we had these other QWERTY keyboard note things that keep your addresses and stuff. So here comes somebody like Steve Jobs, okay, so I'm giving you an extreme example. So here comes somebody like Steve Jobs and says, you know what, this whole thing is wrong, dudes. This whole thing's wrong. First you've got your CDs down there, somebody's got these like digital MP3 things, you know. What's up with that? We should have a device, and I'm going to start working on creating a device that's a telephone. You're going to be able to use it to make calls, receive text messages. You're going to check your email. You're going to surf the net. You're going to be able to listen to your music with your headphones. You're going to be able to check the weather, your stocks, right? You're going to be able to watch movies. You're going to be able to create and edit movies. It's going to have a camera. You can take pictures and video and upload them. To him, that was completely logical. To other people, they're like, get out of here. How's that going to think? And then he says, by the way, this is all going to fit in our pockets. Okay, it's not going to be one of these big, massive things like this. Hello. Okay. It's going to fit in our pockets. Completely illogical. Right? Think about logic. People used to think, hey, the earth's flat. If you say, hey, the earth's round, burn him. He's finished, he's gone crazy. Are we not the center of the universe? The sun is. Okay? What? Witchcraft. Burn him at the stake. Get him out of here. Okay? That's logic. Perception. How does it affect perception? The way we perceive things. Some people are like, oh, jeez, the stock market is so bad, I'm probably going to lose my job. What am I going to do? This is doom. Oh, God, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've got to go find a new job. I'm going to get laid off. Panic. Other person's perception is like, whew, this sucks. Well, hang on a second. Maybe this is a good opportunity for me to start that company that I wanted to start, or hey, maybe it's a good opportunity for me to switch directions of my career. Perception is completely different. What we do with our free time, why do some people procrastinate even though they try as hard as they can not to? Why do they keep being stuck on the sofa, not doing things that they know will do them well? What's controlling this? Effectiveness and productivity. We all have the same amount of hours in a day, but some people just like, I'm so busy, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to do this, I'm too busy. Yet other people are creative geniuses in that same amount of time. We all have 24 hours, right? Some of these people can't get anything done, and other people are, writing books, doing movies, creating jobs, managing a company, sometimes managing multiple companies. How come? How come they're more effective than others? Everybody's got the same thing, whether it's the hobo on the street or the most creative top CEO in the world. We all have the same amount of time. And it's all controlled by our paradigms. Okay? Paradigms, these are our habits and beliefs. These are what keep us stuck in sort of these railway tracks. Sometimes it's flat, sometimes it's just moving up very gradually, slowly, and sometimes it's just going downward spiral, and we can't get out. We're stuck in these things. Okay? It affects, like I said, our money we earn, the health, the relationships, the work that we do, free time, etc. Here I am using this laser right here. I'm not just using my finger. Okay? So where do these paradigms come from? Because I know that I want to change some of mine today, and I'm sure you guys do too. So before we explore how these sort of come into our mind and how these paradigms and belief systems are built, we need to understand, okay, because we need to have a visual of our minds, right? In order to understand the mind, we need to understand first how we think, okay, and how we see, okay? So first we need to understand the mind and how we see. You see, we don't see with our eyes, okay? We see with our brains. We're just using these little eyeballs as sort of mirrors of what's out there, right? We're seeing with our brains. We're seeing things differently based on the patterns within our brain and within our mind. So we think in images. Us humans, we have to see an image. When we think, everything's created in images. That's just the way it is. Okay, so if I ask you to think of your house, for example, you're going to see an image of your house, right? If I close my eyes and say, okay, think of my house, I see an image of my house. If I think about my car, I see an image of my car. And this is not some trick, hypnotist sort of thing. You can try this by yourself. You see an image. That's how you create things, right? Your house, your car, if I ask you to think of an elephant, you're going to see an elephant in your mind. We think in images. Human beings think in images. Okay, now what about your mind? If I ask you to think of your mind, what does your mind look like? What does your mind look like? Most of you probably have an image, something like this, a variation of this. That's not your mind, that's your brain. Okay? That's not your mind. Okay? But because we think in images, it's very important. It's very important for us from a learning perspective and understanding the direct impact that we have on ourselves with our thoughts, to understand or to have an image of our mind in our head, because then we can see the direct impact. That way, when we understand, because we're thinking in images, okay, so let me just make this abundantly clear. Because we're thinking in images, let's make this abundantly clear that we need to understand or have an image of our mind in our heads. Because when we have an image, it's then easy for us to say, okay, what the heck is happening? What am I creating in my life? What am I creating now in my life? Okay? So let's look at our mind now and paradigms. So in the early 1920s or 1910s, there was this chap by the name of Dr. Thurman Fleet. I hope you can see this on the Google Hangouts with the white screen. Okay, so this is the image of the stick person. And Dr. Thurman Fleet created this because he was sort of disillusioned with the healing arts at the time, where he was saying that the doctors and people involved in the healing arts were not sort of treating the true cause, but going and treating the symptoms, which sounds a heck of a lot like today. Back then, they probably only had penicillin and whiskey or brandy as medicine. So what he did is he created this image, a simple image, a stick person image of the human. so that we can have this very basic idea and hold this image in our mind of how everything works. So he created this large area. There's the head, and there's the neck, and there's the body, and there's the limbs. And the reason why this head is so big, because that's what he's just saying, think of the mind residing in the head area. And it's bigger because that has the biggest impact on our lives, right? The mind has the big impact. The mind is the controlling center. There's the mind, and there's the body. Maybe if I just do this little Google Hangouts, go around in circles, you might be able to see. There's the mind, and there's the body. Okay, so let me just change this. Because we see in images, we can now have a clear image of our mind. So we'll now understand how our thoughts affect us. And we'll now understand how the environment that we are in affects us. So let's go back to the mind. So what you do is take the circle here and you split it in half. Now you can even use your head. Think of this as your mind, and you take the top half. Call this top half the conscious mind, the bottom half the subconscious mind. Top half, just make an imaginary line here. Conscious mind, and then subconscious mind. So what is this conscious mind? This conscious mind is the intellectual mind. It's the thinking mind, okay? It's where our own free will exists, where we sit down and think about things and say, you know what, today's sunny, it's about 70 degrees. I think after this, I might go to the gym, have a workout, go to lunch with my family, do some stuff. You know what, I might do a little bit of painting. Hey, how about a holiday? Conscious mind, thinking, our own free will. Somebody says to you, hey, Kenneth, you want to go to the bar now and go get drunk and maybe shoot up some drugs? Conscious mind, I have a free will? No, thank you. Okay? I have the ability. I have the ability to choose my thoughts. I have the ability to accept and reject thoughts. I can reject. Somebody suggested something to me about going and doing drugs and alcohol. I can say no. Somebody can criticize me and say, you know what, you're a bloody selfish pig. And I could say, really? Wow. Nobody's ever spoken to me like that. Maybe I am selfish. Am I really? Oh my gosh. I've taken it on. I can choose to accept that thought, or I can choose to take that thought on and respond in rage, right? Ready to go. Or I can reject the thoughts like, thanks, see ya. Don't even let it pass, right? So this is your own free will. You get to choose the thoughts. You can sit down here and start thinking. I want to start thinking positive thoughts. I want to start thinking thoughts of love, nourishment, gratitude, kindness, okay? That's where your origination center is. So the subconscious mind actually controls the body. The subconscious mind controls the body. It's known as the feeling mind. It's the emotional mind. Okay? Like I said, it controls the body. But the interesting thing about the subconscious mind, it only has the ability to accept thoughts. It cannot reject thoughts. It cannot reject thoughts. It must accept what comes into it. The conscious mind, these thoughts are flowing into the subconscious mind. Okay? And the subconscious mind cannot reject those thoughts. It just takes them on. So your subconscious mind, because it's the feeling body, it controls the way that we feel. It's our emotions, and it's our habitual mind. It works out of habit. So think of this like when you're walking now. You don't have to think about the steps. When you start off, right, as an infant, you don't have that programming. So your subconscious mind is pre-programmed to flow, pump the blood around your body and all this other stuff. But then to develop this new habit of walking, it takes you a long time. You've got to get your balance. You've got to think about every step. Now, when you walk, try to think about your steps. Like for example, when you walk downstairs, right, you go like, and you will run back up the stairs and you walk downstairs. Think about taking that step. It actually confuses you where you actually think you're going to fall sometimes. You don't need to think about it. And it's the same way as that when you're first learning how to drive a car with a manual gear shift. You've got to go through all these processes of accelerator, clutch, check your mirrors, look at the revs. It's a hell of a process. You're thinking the whole time. Now, once you've been doing that for a while and a few years, everything becomes habit. It becomes subconscious. It's acting below the conscious level of thought. You're not even thinking about it. You can drive from here to Boston, which is 3 hours, and you probably won't even remember 2 hours of the journey because everything's just happening. You won't remember changing the gears because it's habit, right? You've developed this habit. And somebody once said to me, why is the subconscious mind like that? And I said, well, I don't know, that's just the way it is. You know, when you have your own planet, then you can make up your own rules. You like that one, huh? Okay, so let me just grab another sip of water. So our subconscious mind, you know, it comes pre-programmed a little bit, which we will discuss, right? The interesting thing about the subconscious mind, it cannot determine the difference between what is real and what is imagined. This is very, 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 very important. Did I say very? Okay, your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is imagined. Okay, and we're going to explore that, and I'll show you how. So what you plant into your subconscious mind affects the way that you feel. It affects the way that you feel. The way that you feel determines the way that you act. The way that you act determines your results in life. Okay? Here's an example. Let's look at worry, a thought, and how this makes us feel. So, we're sitting there with an illness, and we're having some weird sensations in our body of what's going on. So we start having some. Oh, let me look at something that's more relevant. So, hold on, more relevant, just easier to tell. You have a teenage daughter. She's just got her license, and she's going to a friend's house to watch movies. It's just going to be her and a friend and mom and dad. Okay. Now it's her first night that she's going to be driving by herself. She leaves home 7 o'clock. She says, "Mom, I'll be home at 10 o'clock latest. Okay, I'm going to have dinner. We're going to have a quick dinner. We're going to watch this movie. I'm coming home." You've spoken to the parents, everything. It's about a 10-mile drive, not too far. Okay, she's a little bit nervous. Your daughter goes off. It comes 10 o'clock comes. You're sitting there at the TV. Whoops, 5 minutes, a little bit late. Okay, where is she? Why didn't she come? Why isn't she here? Well, I told her not to be late. So it's like a little bit of frustration. Then 15, 20 minutes, you like start getting angry, right? Now you're like, damn, I told her to come home. 45 minutes, you start worrying. Now you start texting her, where are you? Where are you? No answer, no answer. An hour goes by, you're trying to phone, there's no answer. So now all of a sudden your thoughts are starting to come to worry. You've got this thoughts now, oh, what's wrong? What's happening? Maybe she had an accident. Is she okay? So your mind starts working. There's thoughts coming, and then you're latching onto these thoughts, and you're running with these thoughts. What starts happening is you start feeling anxious. You start feeling worrisome, doubtful, fearful inside. Okay? So those thoughts are now getting planted into your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is your emotional mind. It's your feeling mind. It controls the body. So how does fear, worry, and doubt express itself? It expresses itself through the only channel that it can, which is the body, in the form of anxiety. So how do you act, right? You're full of anxiety. You're nervous. You can actually feel you're shaking. You feel shaky. You don't feel clear. Your mind's racing. Everything's not happening. What are your results? Your results are panicky, all the stuff. As it turned out, the movie was so boring. They were in their friend's home theater. They'd left their phones upstairs in the kitchen. They're down in the basement. They all fell asleep. The movie was still blaring. They couldn't hear the phone ring, nothing. They woke up at 11:30, so oh, what the heck? She phones you, Mom, I'm so sorry. She explains to you what happened. I'll be home soon. Whew. Thoughts have changed. You relax. That whole feeling goes away. So that's just that one example, right? What that was it wasn't real, right? Your thoughts were creating a fictitious situation in your head. Okay, it's the same as having panic attacks and anxiety. It's just a perception. The perception is skewed. The perception is wrong. But your subconscious mind doesn't know that that's not really happening. Okay, the subconscious mind works very well when you're walking in the jungle or the field and you come across a lion or a wild dog. Okay, and it kicks in automatically. That's a real threat. But what happens here? Your body responds to get ready to take action. fight or flight. Okay? But yeah, this is completely wrong. So fear and anxiety is something that's a very good example of what's real and what's imagined and how it makes us feel. And think about this, the other common one that everybody can relate to is sexual, right? Sexual arousal. You can basically sit here in the corner and start, close your eyes or keep your eyes open and start thinking about a sexual fantasy. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. What is the result? Your body, body actually physically gets aroused, right? It's not real, it's imagined. And this whole thing is playing out through us all the time, every single day, in all aspects of our lives. Okay? So with our careers, when people are speaking to us, when we're doing certain stuff, thinking about work, and we're worried about what's going to happen, what might not happen. Most of the things we worry about 90% of the time don't even come true. So this whole thought process is, hey, is that person thinking about me? Are they speaking bad about me? Whatever. This creates all this anxiety, all this worry. And with your health, am I getting better? What's that symptom? What's that twitch? What's that thing? Oh, geez, what's that pain? What's happening here? Is this medicine? Your body doesn't know what's real. Your body thinks that that's what's happening. So then what does happen? It responds in that stressful way the whole time. Zoo, 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 and you're not even realizing it. This chemical reaction is what's making you feel weak and shaky, and your throat tighten and your chest get all tight, and your cheeks flushing and blood racing and your hair falling out. Exactly right. Okay? So why is this important? It's important because thoughts become things. Those thoughts created something. Okay, and these things are the way that we feel, the way that we act, and the way that we think, feel, and act. Those three things are called our attitude. Our attitude, our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions make up our attitude. Okay? If thoughts affect the way that we feel and the way that we act, they're going to affect our results in life. Okay? If you have feelings of, say you want to start your own company, you have feelings of self-doubt, of worry, of lack of money, that you're not good enough, that you don't have the education, that you don't have the skill set, that you're not in the right area, that you don't know if you can do this. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think you're going to go forward abundantly and confidently? No, you're not. You're going to be hesitant. You're going to want to try, you're going to push. You might be using your willpower to try to keep going, but it's fighting a pattern, a paradigm, a belief system. It's impossible to fight that. You've got to create a new model. Okay? So yeah, that's the problem. The way we think isn't always our choice, And so what do I mean by that, right? This is not some scientific experiment that's gone wrong. When I say, what do I mean that we don't have a choice what we think? Let's have a look at us today. Here we are today. So here's the little stick person, our conscious mind, subconscious mind, our body. Right? Our conscious mind can accept or reject. So what's going into our conscious mind? All the stuff on the television, on the internet, on the radio, what our friends are telling us, what peers are telling us, people in authority, church leaders, all this stuff is coming into our mind every single day. People saying, ooh, you got that illness, you never get better. Nah, that illness, terrible, tragic. That antibiotic doesn't work. Geez, you can't live there. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a long healing process. That's their belief that they're putting into you. You can either accept those thoughts or reject them. Okay? What about all the millions of people that are getting healed every single day from that same illness? Why people focus just on the ones that are not? Okay? So this is what's coming into your conscious mind and therefore into your subconscious mind. All this information from the outside, the economy is bad, there's no jobs, you've got to stay in your job, you've got to get a good degree at school, you've got to go get a job and then move up, and this is the way that you act, and this is the way that you behave. You don't go pursue that thing. You're not going to be a photographer or an artist. You're not going to go be a public speaker. No. That's not what our family does. All that crap is coming into our head every single day. Now we have the ability to choose to accept that thought or reject it. Say, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you. Okay? And let's look at us so we have the ability to accept or reject the thoughts. Why do we choose the thoughts that we do? Why do we choose the thoughts that we do? Because what happens, we get stuck in this belief system in our model. Whatever our model and paradigm is, we attract more of those thoughts. Because when those thoughts come in, when people are giving us input, we're checking subconsciously. Does this fit my model? Yes. Oops. Does this fit my model? No. Get out. Okay? So we keep thinking, why am I still stuck? Why do I still believe I'm useless? Why do I still not have any confidence? Why can't I quit my job? Why can't I be successful at this? Why can't I be healthy? Why am I still stuck here? Because that's what your model is telling you, right? And where does this model come from? Well, when we're an infant, our conscious mind is not developed, right? It comes wide open. You know, you don't see an infant lying in his crib thinking, geez, like, what am I going to do today? Well, between 6 and 6:15, I'm going to suck on a little bit of my bottle, and then I'm going to have a couple of poops. I'll have a little nap. I'll wake up again, cry, have another little bit of bottle, maybe, I don't know, but I'm not even going to sit up today. I'm just going to lie on my back all day. Right? But what's happening, it's subconscious mind is there, it's open. Subconscious mind comes pre-programmed. We come to this planet pre-programmed. Okay? And then we have our genetic makeup, and then we have environmental factors that start coming in to build our model. So when we come in here, we know to cry, we know to breathe, our blood pumps, our fingernails grow, our hair grows, we know to suck our mom's nipple, our digestive system, everything works, it operates. Okay, so we come pre-programmed. But then there's this conversation happening around us from our parents, our family, our relatives, people in places of authority, our school teachers, our church leaders, the conversations that are happening in our house, what's on the TV, what's on the radio in the background. These are all getting sucked into individuals, right? You know, the interesting thing, and this affects the way that we eat, the type of food that we eat, the type of careers that we have, the jobs that we have, what our relationships look like, where we live, what we do for work, how we dress. All this stuff is influenced by our environment growing up, from our parents, from our parents' parents, from our parents' parents' parents. These are handed down through generations. That's why we follow political parties. That's why we eat a certain way, right? That's why we live in certain areas. That's why we have generations. I'm an accountant. My father was an accountant. My great-grandfather was an accountant. I've got to be this. I'm not following my passion of flying kites and being a professional skateboarder because my family, we all accountants and lawyers, and my parents want me to go to the school because this is the school that all this stuff comes in here. Right? So what was happening? What was the conversation about you as a child, as a belief? Was it one of lack? Was it one that you're not good enough, you're overweight, you're too lazy, you never listen? What's the matter with you? Stop it. You make me so angry. You're not, yeah, he's not a sportsman, he's not good. Nah, he's not the smartest one. Why? Because I don't fit the school model, the education model that gets taught, because I'm different, I'm not smart like you. You see all this rubbish that comes in, and then we're creating subconscious, these belief systems. So then when we want to go start our business, when we want to get healthy, do we truly believe on a subconscious level, and I can speak to this about myself too, do we really believe down below that we deserve perfect health, that we can actually get back to perfect health? Right? Do you think there's a coincidence that right when I am about to pursue my dream, and break away that I've never been able to do in the form of living and working in that banking environment, to go live my dream, and then when everything's presented to me, I get sick? What is that trigger that's causing that? Was it because I hold some emotional baggage, some belief system, where I was a young boy, watched my father passed away when I was 11, right? For many years he suffered with cancer, was sick with cancer. He's a very wealthy man and lost everything and died completely broke, which means we were broke, right? He had all the insurance policies and endowments and everything that you could ever want to take care of his family. He cashed those all in before he got sick to start up a second business, and he lost every single thing because he was diagnosed with cancer. Okay? Is that a coincidence that those powerful emotional connections, what's happening in my mind, seeing my environment, lack, poor health, this is the father figure, this is the father figure, this is the way he acts, coming in at a subconscious level, my age of 8, 9, 10, 11, I wasn't even aware of what was going on. I wasn't even aware of what was happening around me. Right? All I wanted to do was play soccer, play cricket, play rugby, be with my friends, have fun, ride my BMX bicycle, and falling in love with the ocean and surfing, just being, that was it. All this other stuff, I wasn't even aware, but it was affecting me, right? There is no coincidence here, folks. There is no coincidence. This is what's happening, okay? This is what's happening. This is why we eat the type of foods that our parents and that ate. And that's why when we go to doctors and say, is there any history of this? It's not just because of your genetic makeup. They want to see your lifestyle patterns, right? So what's happening in our subconscious mind with all this input? It's creating our self-image. Our self-image. Our belief system of ourselves. That's our paradigm. That's our model. That's our template. It resides in our subconscious mind, our habitual mind. That's why we do things out of habit. And when we're doing things out of habit, we start thinking out of habit until we change it consciously. Excuse me, the conscious mind has the ability to change. Our conscious mind has the ability to change our thoughts. If we're not conscious and aware, we're just going to get stuck in that pattern. And most of the time, until we become aware and start thinking about what we're thinking, okay, we're just going to be stuck in that old way of thinking. And we're not even aware of it. We're just stuck there. But then we've got to start thinking, hey, what am I thinking? And I'll show you how to make that connection. Your model of life was determined by the environment around you, okay? And so you must know, if you have kids, this is what you're doing. And I'm a parent, and I struggle with this every day because I go around shouting and trying to get my kid to get motivated and change the way that they speak and stuff, and then they don't listen. I mean, how do you say it? Come on, start listening. I mean, it's frustrating, right? So, you know, but anyway, that is our paradigm. That's what's keeping us stuck, folks. That's what's keeping us where we are. You know, remember, your paradigm is a model. It's a template. It's a pattern. It's your belief system, and it controls your life. Our belief systems determine our life experiences. We have a belief system about everything, and we're always adding or taking away from that belief system and creating new ones. Okay? Right? Our belief systems can change. We can make this change. And some are easier than others. But we might have limited beliefs about certain things, like whether coffee's good for you, or red wine's good for you, or chocolate, and you see a research paper that contradicts it, and then you change that belief system. Other belief systems to say that you're worthy of being in a loving relationship, that might be harder for you to do. Or, you know what, you're actually really worth something. You're a good parent. Some of the people just don't believe that, right? So those belief systems take a lot longer to sort of change. So now I really want you to think about this, okay? Because this is super important for your healing. What belief systems are you creating about your health, about your worthiness, about your self-image, your self-esteem, your illness, and your healing? What belief systems are you creating about that, okay? What are you creating? You want to know what you're attracting into your life? Just look at your results. This is not easy to do, okay? This is not an easy exercise to do, but it helps. Right? And you can see, and it's not about blaming you or blaming your parents. This is just life. And this thing of life is growth and it's development. Okay, so we look at this here and we look at our results and we say, how are my finances? What do I do for work? Do I love it, or am I just doing this thing? How about your relationships? How about your health? How do you spend your free time? Okay? I've already said to you, I mean, it's not an easy thing to do, but guess what? It gives us back all our power. It gives us back all our power, because now we don't need to look externally. Okay, we don't need to sit in that job that we hate and start thinking about, how am I going to make change? Why is this? When am I going to get that job? When am I going to get that promotion? Or when can I find that perfect job on the newspaper or on the internet or whatever? Because people are in the newspapers. But you know what I mean, right? It's like, hey, which doctor? I mean, when I was sick, I went to shamans. I went to chiropractors, kinesiologists. regular doctors, Lyme doctors, psychic healers, psychic mediums, healers, I said shamans already, right? Card readers, past life regression. I saw therapists. This might help me, give me a pill, give me something. I was waiting for this magic. When the magic was within me. The magic was within me. I had to start going and start looking within my mind. What is my belief system? Okay, this is so, so powerful. What is your belief system? The power is now within you, not out there externally. Okay? And how do we create a new paradigm? How do we change our results? How do we change our life then? Okay? We change it through our thinking. And through our thinking, we create a new model. You can't go fight the old model. Right? You can't just use your willpower to go try and work harder to earn more money, or work harder to get more healthy and drink more green juices and go to bed early. You can use your willpower to create a new model rather than using your willpower to fight the old model. You go say, I'm going to create a new model. I am worthy. I am the best that I can be. I'm the best parent. I'm the best worker. I'm so healthy. I'm perfectly healthy. All this, I deserve perfect health. You're going to create this new model and you're going to ignore that old one that's holding you back, keeping you where you are. When you ignore that model long enough, it starts shrinking, shrinking, shrinking because you're not feeding it. You're not feeding it through thoughts. Okay, now this is where it really gets fun. We're going to learn how to change our paradigms that are holding us back and live the life that we want to deserve. Okay, this is how we make the change. Just quickly. Right, we create the image, we plant the image in our subconscious mind. That affects the way that we feel, our vibration, which determines the way that we act, which we then attract into our life, wherever we're in harmony. Okay, I'm not going to do the exercise today, but so let's go back to this image of the stick person, right? Here's the conscious mind, subconscious mind, and here's the body. Okay? Now, your results are determined by your self-image. Your results are determined by your self-image. They're determined by your paradigm, your belief system, your model. Okay? So there's, just for simplicity's sake, we have X thoughts. If we have X thoughts in life, we're going to build an X paradigm. Right? It's obvious. X thoughts equals X into our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is our paradigm, belief system, model, template, etc. Which means we're going to have X vibe. We have X vibration, which means the way we act. Thinking, feeling, action equals X results. Makes sense, right? Perfect sense. Let me just have a sip of water here. Terribly dry throat here. Now let me just check. I've got somebody here to see here text me about directions. Okay. It's actually an old text that's just come through. So here we go. Your paradigm is your cybernetic system, right? Remember the cybernetic system, the automatic control system? I don't need to show you this. That's what's keeping us stuck, right? Okay? Our paradigm, that's the cybernetic system. That's the automatic control system. Remember, we all have one. So think of that, because we think in images, remember that. Okay? And so what's happening here is we need to, and you won't be able to see this on the Google Hangouts, but basically this is emotions. We're going to speak just briefly about emotions because thoughts, we've spoken about the conscious mind choosing those right thoughts, and the subconscious mind is the feeling mind. It's the emotional mind. That's the powerful, because it expresses itself through our body, through our central nervous system, which is incredibly powerful energy, right? You know, you have thoughts of feeling and anxiety. I mean, you can feel that energy going through you. So your emotions are very powerful. And that they always let us know what we are thinking, both consciously and subconsciously, okay? Because they affect the way that we feel, okay? So if you ever want to know what you're thinking, pay attention to what you're feeling. That's how you break the cycle. So if you're starting to feel angry, doubtful, worried, whatever it is, change. Just become aware of your thoughts and say, okay, what am I thinking? Just watch them. Okay, that's quite a negative thought. Right, so today, right, in this talk, so I've got 4 people here. I expected 16 to come. Actually, it was 19 who were meant to come. We only have 4 people come. So what's happening? Jeez, what's happening with your events? Are people getting tired of them? You know, and so then I'm having this thought process. What's going on? What's going on? Am I losing my mojo a little bit here? Right? So these thoughts start coming, and then I notice because I'm getting a little bit flustered, and then and then my thoughts start coming more. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should change this. It's like panicky, worry. Okay. So now if hey, I don't feel good. That's discomfort. What am I thinking? Okay. What am I doing here? I'm feeding this model. I'm feeding this negative model, this negative paradigm, starting to creep in. Not worthy, self-doubt, self-esteem, lack, right? You're not going to make it. If I keep feeding that, if I keep thinking that, I'll keep attracting that same thing into my life over and over and over. Okay? So you've got to be very, very careful. This stuff is habitual. It's so sneaky. But that's where the magic happens in the subconscious mind. Okay? So because emotions have such a powerful impact on our body and they let us know how we feel, long-term illness takes its toll on us emotionally. Right? So what I've just been explaining is for us, for normal people. But us other guys who were sick for such a long time, maybe we shouldn't be called normal. Right? It's just a joke. Is we have to work extra hard, right? Because like Lyme disease, right, attacks the central nervous system. So you get these angry thoughts. When you get angry, you get angry, okay? When you get scared, you get scared. You can't handle it. Stress, you can't handle stress. I tell you what, is my son came into my office, right? And so, like, my nerves were shot. My central nervous system was completely shot. I'm busy working on my computer, and he came. He just like walked quietly up into my office, stood behind my desk. I was just like looking at my computer, and he went like, "Hello," and I didn't know he was there. Now he had come out of the shower. He was in his bathrobe, all cleaned up, just to come to see his dad. I got such a fright, okay, that I absolutely exploded. Okay, not at him. I like double took, but because my central nervous system was so screwed from this illness, it was like this wave of energy that burst through me, and I took both my fists and I just slammed my desk like 3 times, and I was like, "Bugger, bugger, bugger!" And he still laughs about it today. He still says, "Hey, Dad, do you remember when I did that?" It was just a bugger, bugger. But this energy just went, and I sit there and I was like, I was just looking and I was like, "Joel, man, I'm sorry. I don't, it just happened. It was just like this reaction. I've never experienced like that. I love giving people frights and, doing that stuff. But, so that example was that our emotions are completely drained and, really at our end. We can't handle any more stress. We're so drained and stuff that we have an even better opportunity. And when the beginning, when I was saying normal people that aren't sick, well, one of the benefits, the downside for us and the benefit, right? The downside is that we're overreacting because our emotions are so stressed. But the benefit is that we get an instant warning because these emotions are so stressed and so strong that they overpower us very quickly when you've had these chronic illnesses or Lyme disease or something like that. Which means you're able to recognize straight away what you're thinking and the quality of your thoughts. So start using that now as a tool to help you to change your thoughts and start bringing peace and balance, okay? Because remember, this emotional health and intelligence are very important. Emotional health and intelligence. Emotional intelligence is keeping control of your emotions and using those things, being calm about it. Remember, our emotions are releasing chemicals. These are not just harmless things. Right? Whatever our emotions are through our brains, these are releasing chemicals into our body. And these are stress hormones, which are fine. They help us through fight and flight, through old days. But when they're done consistently long term, they cause damage and go over and over and over. Okay? So over the long run, negative emotions are killing us. Remember, the reverse applies. Loving, nurturing, positive emotions are going to help our body with a healing and find peace. Positive emotions help us heal. So we have this emotional guidance system. This emotional guidance system is basically the way that we feel. Okay? So remember, thoughts with emotions, thoughts coupled with emotions are very, very powerful. That's an anchor. That's why you can remember, where you were when 9/11 happened, where you were about the phone call when a loved one passed away. You can remember certain things about your wedding or certain dates that were really emotionally powerful, positive or negative. Anything that's happened to your life that had a strong emotional impact on you, you can remember those, okay? And that's etched into your central nervous system, okay? And that's what this slide is about. Powerful emotion events are etched in our subconscious system, our central nervous system, and cells in our body. Okay, so this is where the thought and the feeling together start creating the magic. Many of us already know this subconsciously. You think, why am I so scared? Why am I still acting this way? It's because emotions are the anchor. Okay? Emotions are the anchor. You can't even see that, okay? So let's go back to creating a new model in our lives. So going back to this earlier slide, which we call bondage. This is our comfort zone. This is where we are right now, okay? And it's horrible to say, but it is a comfort zone for many, many people, most of us. That's why we're here, That's why we're here. We're in this place, and we'll see what happens. We have X thoughts, we have X paradigm, X actions, X results. So now we want to change our life, right? So there we are in our bondage with our X model. Now we come and we listen to Kenneth speak about this new way of thinking and start planting new ideas in our mind, okay, of how we can do things. And that new idea is represented by Y. But guess what? You've still got this X paradigm here. That's very strong, right? You've only planted this Y here for the last week or two. But this X model has been building up in your life over 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, right? So you're still going to be getting these results in your life because you're still going to be acting a certain way. You're still going to be reacting a certain way, typically, right? We can change our thoughts and make positive impact on our life every single day. But in order to, and some of these results, some of these changes may be massive, and that's almost miraculous. But for most of us, we're making small changes every single day that we hardly even notice, and we feel like we're slipping back. We're not slipping back, but we keep shifting back to that model because we still got this paradigm within us. Okay? So if we keep going with this new idea, okay, we start having conflict. We start having conflict because once we start planting enough wide thoughts, enough of this new idea, this Y idea into our subconscious mind, eventually this Y model starts growing and starts getting some force. So, if you think about it, when we're starting out, the X model's like this, the Y model's like this. It's just this little round thing. And then this one's going to come down like this, and this one's going to start growing until they're like this. Right? And then we get this conflict because we've got two models within us. So, we might have, pursued, for example, a life of being a lawyer or an accountant because that's what our parents did and our grandparents did, or being a doctor, and that's what. But really, we have a passion for photography, and we want to go become a photographer. Okay? So, initially, it starts with like a crazy thought, a crazy idea, but we start doing the homework, and we start believing, hey, yeah, this is what I really love, this is what I want to do. And, we come across, conflict from our parents and the input and stuff, but we overcome that and all that stuff, and we're going to make this change. And then we make the change. But when we start, we don't have the clients, we don't have the money coming in. It's not what it turns out to be. It actually turns out to be very difficult, right? We don't like doing these wedding photos. And then we start coming across this conflict here. Because we've got this new idea, we want to be an entrepreneur and leave the whole thing. But now old models start saying, we start rationalizing. And the old models start saying to us, you're meant to be an accountant. This thing doesn't work. Oh, sorry, you're meant to be a doctor. This thing doesn't work. You see, the only way to be successful is going to college, becoming a professional, working your way up, starting your own practice, working till retirement, then you can go play around. So when you have this conflict within, you're having these mixed emotions, right? You're having these the mental thoughts and patterns conflicting within you. You're having worry, doubt, fear. Okay, this is all starting to manifest in your life. Okay, so your results all mixed. You know, book a couple of clients, but you're not really getting anything. So you're getting, you're doing mixed because you have this mixed paradigm. You're having mixed actions, which give you mixed results. Okay, so what happens? This is important. Okay, you hit this thing here. This is called the terror barrier. Okay, what happens? These thoughts of doubt, worry, and fear, they express themselves in one way. Anxiety. What happens? Boom! This powerful electric field through our central nervous system vibrates through us and causes us all this anxiety. We have this terror barrier. It's too frightening for us. It's too scary for us. It's too uncomfortable. So we go back to what we knew, which was bondage. Okay? This is the reason why people stay in jobs that they hate. This is why people work for bosses that they can't stand. This is why people stay in abusive relationships. This is why people stay sick. They start nurturing, they become nurtured, they start believing this after a while chronically. This is what they deserve. This is what their life's going to be. They get some sort of comfort in visiting the doctor. They're getting some sort of comfort in getting the attention from their illness. It sounds terrible, but it happens. I'm not saying you like that, but this is what's happening. Okay, we get stuck there. Let me tell you something. I was stuck for 5 years. I was stuck for 5 years. When I did this work, it's changed my life. When I did this work, it changed my life. Okay? I'm telling you now. Okay? This is what happens. You must realize that one thought is nothing. Okay, unless it's still a strong emotional charge. One thought's not enough. You know, one thought, a collection of thoughts becomes an idea. You know, a collection of ideas become a belief system. Those beliefs become our habits. Right? So over our years of living in an external input, we have all these different thoughts about political parties, about food, about what's healthy, about what we're worth, how much money we should earn, etc. These individual thoughts, these form ideas. Yeah, I have an idea like this. The more ideas that we have, collection of ideas, form a belief. A belief is strong. Right? Once we've had enough of these thoughts, and they're consciously there. And this is our paradigm. This is what keeps us stuck. And then what happens, okay, if we don't go back to this place of comfort, okay, Abraham Maslow says, once we hit this terror barrier, we either step forward into growth or we step back into comfort. If you step forward into growth, you have freedom. You have that new idea, you still have that XY paradigm, you keep going, but your Y paradigm is now growing bigger and bigger. You're still feeling uneasy, you're still having conflict, that's okay. Right? You've broken through that freedom, you now have XY results. So you're still having mixed results, but over time, guess what happens? Enough of those Y thoughts and ideas and become your paradigm. You have a new paradigm. You don't have an X paradigm, you now have a Y paradigm and a Y feeling. A Y template, a Y belief system, which means that you're going to feel a different way. And when you do that, you're going to have Y results all the way up here. Okay? That is what freedom is. That's where the breakthrough happens. You see, you've got to keep focusing on your thoughts. You choose your thoughts. Because what happens is people look here. Let's go back a second. I'll get through this. What happens too is when you're having this, when you're stuck at this stage here, is that you look at your results, you look at your bank balance, and it's still low. Guess what happens? These X results then feed your thoughts. And then your thoughts are saying, man, this is ridiculous. I don't know how to do this. I just can't seem to win. Maybe I'm not good enough. You know what? I don't have the skill set. So now you're starting to rationalize and reinforce. Okay? So what happens now is when you start thinking that, it feeds the model. It feeds the same model. You act the same way, you get the same results, and it becomes this nasty, vicious little circle. The same thing with your health. Remember, this sucker here, the subconscious mind, doesn't know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. If you want to change your results, you've got to change your thoughts, the way that you feel, and your actions. Okay? These three things here, thoughts, feelings, actions. That's our attitude. That makes up our attitude in life. Okay? When we change our attitude, we're going to change our results. When we change the way that we feel, we're going to start attracting into our life those things that are aligned with that energy. Okay? We're walking around, moping around, thinking about losing our job, how we're going to get it. You know, we may lose our job, our boss might fire us, he doesn't like us, there's big layoffs coming because that's what the newspaper said. Okay, we're going to be looking down. We're not in vibrational harmony with opportunities around us. The difference is, hey, let me use this as an opportunity to find a new career path. Maybe I can open that business that I always dreamed of. Okay. Hey, let me start looking. Where can I go look? Okay. You're in a good vibe. You're open. You're open to conversation. Hey, what did that guy say? I like that. Let me explore that. No, that's not. It's a completely different way to, as a fearful thing. I need to go get a job for an agency. Yeah. Can I send my resume, please? Hey, what's the job market like? It's just completely different. And this is what the law of attraction is. It's not some magic thing, push a button, sit on your sofa. Right? We're going to take action. We take action, but it's our thoughts, our feeling, and our actions determine our results in life. Okay? So we've got to keep feeding. We look at those results. We look at our health. And even though we feel sick, even though we look at our thing and we're broke, we don't start thinking, oh, I'm so broke. No, we walk around with our flashcards, with our goals written on it. I am so happy and grateful now that I am perfectly healthy. I'm perfectly healthy. I'm so happy and grateful now that I earn X amount of dollars per month as an entrepreneur. Whatever it is, be specific. Visualize it. We think in images. Visualize it. Hold that image in your head. Say it over and over with meaning. Connect your thoughts. The visual element, thoughts, to your emotions. It's going to give you a powerful, positive feeling. You do this over and over, you'll feel your whole vibration changing. You'll feel your vibe change. When your vibe changes, your action changes, because that's your attitude, your thoughts, your feeling, the way that you act. That's your attitude. And when your attitude changes, your results are going to change. Nothing is going to stop you. Okay? So it's very different to just saying that positive thinking and not doing anything. Positive thinking and having negative emotions, right? So let's get through this slide that I went back here. Freedom. Okay, so that's how you get to this path to freedom. This is how you get to this path to health and wellness. Okay? I'm not saying that this is where you dump your doctor. I'm saying this is the complementary to it. You carry on doing what you're doing, but you focus on what you want, not what you don't want. Why? Because thoughts become things. Okay? Thoughts become things. Thoughts are very powerful. Thoughts not only manifest in the way that you feel, manifest everything. Before this little, whatever this thing is, this presenter thing, became into physical manifestation, was once an image and a thought in somebody's head. These glasses were once a thought and image in somebody's head before they designed it. The computer, the clothes I'm wearing, this wooden floor, this projector screen, this table, this building was an image in somebody's mind. the road, the mapping out, the layout of this town was always at one stage a thought and an image in somebody's mind before it became into physical manifestation. So if we want to manifest, right, think about it. You're going to have a vision of your head of what you want your house to look like. You've got a vision in your mind of the type of job that you're doing and what you're doing with your free time. If you don't have that image, you're not going to be able to create it. Okay? Think about it. Do you want to go on a holiday? You're looking for a brochure that matches your image inside your head. That's exactly what I want. That is exactly. How many times have you said that? Perfect. Oh, that's beautiful. That's exactly what I want. I love those colors. Because you've got an image in your mind. You formed these whole experiences. You know, through your senses. You're looking at the world. You're tasting and smelling and hearing and touching it. All these life experiences that have happened to you. That's why we're all so unique. We've created these models and belief systems and paradigms. And this is what we're changing. Okay? So you need to get your body uplifted no matter how sick you feel. And I can promise you, I made videos of myself when I was sick. I was freaking sick and I was finished my medicine and I still felt sick. I didn't know what I was doing. I was sleeping on the sofa 5 days a week. If I could get up for 2 days, I was happy. My kids were there playing and I'd just be saying over and over the vision card, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm so perfectly healthy. I feel amazing. What a lie. But that wasn't the point. The point was, if I kept lying there thinking, geez, I'm so sick, what the hell is that? I'm just reinforcing it over and over and over, that model. I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick, right? And what I get is that. So I had to change it. To get that, say it over and over until my vibration started changing and I visualized it because I could see myself healthy. I could see myself running again. I could see myself riding a bicycle, surfing, going on holidays until I created that. Okay? See my phone ringing with clients and build a business. Okay? And that's what happened. This is where it starts. Whether you're consciously aware of it or whether you're not, whether you want to or whether you don't want to, whether you believe it or whether you don't believe it, doesn't matter. You're creating the same stuff. Okay? So quick recap. Thoughts become things. Change your thoughts. Change your paradigm. Change your results. Change comes from within. What you put in is what you get out. This change lasts forever. And there is a way. So don't fall into the trap of other people's belief systems and say stuff that will limit your ability to heal. That is their baggage and issues. You have an opportunity to change and make lasting change in your life with these tools in every aspect of your life. Okay? And you know, for you is that I believe you're on this journey for personal growth. That's the way I see life, is that we're all here to grow and evolve as humans, and these illnesses and that and finance challenges and relationship challenges, these are challenges to help us grow, to help us become better people, to live the life that we want to live, to pursue our dreams, to live our purpose, live with passion. Okay? And it all starts right now because you're going to believe in yourself, you're going to believe in your healing. Okay? You have to. And remember, as a man thinketh in his heart, so shall he be. As a man thinketh, thoughts, in his heart, feelings, so shall he be. Which means actions and results. But thanks very much. And before I take any questions, I just want to end this Google Hangouts that I got going here, this live thing. So those folks that are online, thank you so much. Let's escape here and see actually if it even recorded anything. Where are we here? I wonder if you guys could even see those slides, but I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm going to say sayonara, and I'll head back to you guys now.